Hello and welcome to Molby On The Spot. This is your weekly chance, thanks to Anfield Index Pro, to hear the wit and wisdom of your friend and mine, the Liverpool legend that is Jan Molby. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Trevor. It's getting closer.
It's getting closer, man. It's getting exciting. There's so many things I want to talk to you about on this particular occasion because, you were part of league winning teams and you know what it's like to be there at the final point. It feels a little bit like the last time we had a chance to talk about a league win. There was something sort of artificial about it with the whole absence of fans and just the awkwardness of it all, the distance between us and it. So it is an exciting time, but I don't want to sort of ignore the elephant in the room. And I want to start off with the big question that everybody's going to be asking you and want to hear from you on, which is, of course, the Trent situation. So we had his glorious return to action at the weekend, a return which saw him play very well in the piece that we saw him take part in and score what could be, well, what will be, it just is an essential goal on the road to this 20th title. So there's a couple of ways that we can approach this, but if we could start with the man himself and the question of whether or not he stays around. There was lots of rumors going around. No doubt you'll have heard them. I know I was getting people telling me this, that, and the other. And there was a weird one going around about a tour guide. I'm not sure if you heard this, who had been dropping something about perhaps Trent was going to stay and so on. So I wonder just if we can address that question first. First of all, did you see his post-match comments?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Which is, it's kind of the route he's gone down, isn't it? Not being prepared to speak about his contract situation. He couldn't have looked any happier if he'd have tried. It generally meant an awful lot to him, scoring that goal and being part of being able to take it back to Anfield on next Sunday. For, it's where we want to win it, isn't it? And that was the first thing I said in commentary. If nothing else, this is his gift to Liverpool, and in terms of winning at Anfield in front of the fans, isn't it? So, the problem I have with these rumours is, Trevor, that where do all these rumours come from? I was heavily involved in the Real Madrid-Barcelona Champions League game last week, and yes, there was a significant fallout because Real Madrid were as average as they were, and it more and more looks like Carlo Ancelotti is going to leave his post. But I can't see that having anything to do with Trent's situation. Trent is not signing for Carlo Ancelotti, he's signing for Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti wouldn't have had anything to do with that anyway. The president there is very vocal and he signs the players. So I kind of dismiss most rumours because I don't know where they come from, Trevor. I was at Leicester on Sunday, and obviously the main topic was Virgil van Dijk re-signing, and then I just said to somebody from within the club, is there any change in Trent? He said, nah. He said, I can't see there being any change in terms of what his decision is. Although there was another reporter who said, somebody said he's changed his mind. He said, well, he won't be able to change his mind until he's made his mind up, does he? So I don't. I'm still where I've been for a long time, Trevor. And that is that Trent is joining Real Madrid.
And it was specifically the post-match interview where there was an opportunity. The Sky lad asked him several questions. They were all to do with the match. And I think Kelly Dalglish back in the studio afterwards was saying it took him a while to get their lad on the side of the pitch, but he finally did in the last question, which was to kind of put him on the spot and say, so are you going to have many more of these moments as a Liverpool player, or something to that effect? And he was very blunt about, I'm not going to speak on my situation. And I think people who really want Trent to be around next year might incline then towards their imagination a little bit and want to read into that and say, well, he didn't say he was going. But I'm like you. I feel that there was an opportunity there for him to give a little bit of hope or say something that's somehow positive, or look, I want to stay at this club. He didn't do it. To me, that's definitive, Jan. You know what it's like to be in that position as a footballer. You know what it's like to be in that position as a manager of footballers. There are ways that you can communicate information. You don't have to be cryptic all the time. He could have given the fans something. He didn't. To me, that just says it all. And I'm not making any judgments on the lad. I'm not one of these guys who does that. You know, you and I have spoken about players' careers are short. Is that where you come down on this? Because I think that's what's sticking in the craw of a lot of people, is they believe that he could have done better by the club. I don't know that that's his responsibility, Jan.
I think it's really, really difficult. It's really, really difficult because it started off with 3 players out of contract. Now there's only 1, isn't it? So that, I think, adds to the whole awkwardness of the situation. And obviously the third one being Trent, and there basically isn't any information in I think we could all see with with Virgil. You know, I think the first one to put his cards on the table was Mo. I want to stay here, yeah, but you got to pay me to stay. I also think when you listen to Virgil, I think everybody thought, you know, but there isn't really any clues here, and he's giving no clues that he's staying, and he can't really give any clues that he's going. So it is and also in the world that we live in today, Trevor, these players are not going to give anything away because there would have been something planned for this announcement, whatever that announcement is, isn't it? You know, so.
And don't you think as well, Matt, don't you think as well that it's one of those situations where we saw Mo and we saw Virgil saying things like, I love this club. I love these fans. I'm getting nothing. I have heard nothing. Pushing it right back to the club, saying, look, clearly, if there was an offer to me, you would know about it. I want to stay here. That was the implication. And the guy who is the local lad didn't do any of that, has done none of that. Whereas I saw Mo Salah get criticised for maybe using the media to get a bit of movement on his contract. At least it showed an interest in having a contract. This guy has done nothing of the sort. And with the best will in the world, it is quite easy to imagine Trent as a teammate to the likes of Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham. It feels a little bit like over the last couple of years, I don't know, there seems to have been a little bit of shift in him. He's talking about winning Ballon d'Ors. That would be my only judgment of Trent. I think do what you want with your career, it's short. But I hope the guy doesn't, genuinely, I mean this, I hope he doesn't regret it. In terms of, is it an ego-driven thing to go and want to play for Real Madrid? And then who could really criticize anyone, Jan, for having that inclination? I mean, it's like winning the lottery in a way, isn't it?
Well, I guess as a footballer, it is. It maybe doesn't have the same pull for British footballers as it does for, say, South Americans. You know, the South Americans make no secret about it. You know, they come over and they play somewhere in Europe and they go, well, one day I'd love to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. And you know, it doesn't quite have the same pull for British players, but it does have the same pull for British players if you want to maybe enhance your old profile. There can be very little doubt that, you know, somebody like Jude Bellingham, who is now a superstar in that part of the world as well, and I'm talking about South America and whatever else is there. So I can see Trent. I mean, in terms of, you talk about the contract situation and what Mo said and Mo didn't say. I mean, Mo cherry-picked moments, didn't he? All of a sudden he's in front of the camera and he's cherry-picking moments to let people know without, you know, going on bended knees. The best we can really come up with in terms of Trent is, and some people said that to me on Sunday, and again, it doesn't really wash with me, but somebody went, when he scored, he didn't look like somebody who was joining Real Madrid. And I'm going, you know, when he scored, he looked like somebody who just scored a very important goal for the club that he still plays for and the club that he probably loves in it. That's what he looked like to me. I wasn't looking beyond that. So it's been a difficult situation to read if you're looking for clues for him staying. I think if you're looking for clues in going, I think it's a bit more straightforward. And as I said before, I was involved with the Real Madrid last week. There's not one single person in and around Real Madrid who doesn't believe that he's joining Real Madrid. They all seem to think that, it's a done deal and have been for a while.
Yeah, I think an awful lot of the narrative was after the Arsenal game. I don't think Trent is what that team needs. That was the gist of it, as if that's the driving force for that transfer. And that's a bit daft, isn't it? Because like you said, likely Don Carlo's on his bike. There will be a new setup, a new gaffer, and they'll just throw a whole lot of more money at the team, including whatever they spend on Trent. I think that rationale made no sense to me about why it was less likely. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Well, listen, now is not a bad time to join Real Madrid. They've been knocked out of the quarterfinal stage of the Champions League, which doesn't happen very often, which means they won't win it. They probably won't win La Liga because it looks like Barcelona. And now at the weekend, they're playing Barcelona in the Cup. So they might end up empty-handed. So this might be a good time to go. All of a sudden, you're joining a team who haven't won anything for 12 months, haven't played particularly well for maybe even longer than 12 months, with probably a new coach who there's every chance it might be Xabi Alonso, who might be able to make a team out of them, which then, to be fair, for Trent joining them, could be a relationship made in heaven, couldn't it? He goes there, there's a new coach, more coaching on the training ground, they get a clearer structure, and they get more from all their star players, isn't it? So I can't see why all of a sudden people go, oh, this is the wrong time and Trent is the wrong player. If somebody would have said to me, I'm joining Liverpool, yeah, and somebody goes to me, the last thing Liverpool need is Jan Molby, yeah, I'd have gone, really? I'll show you who you need. And Trent would think exactly the same. Nobody's going to be able to go to Trent, you know what? Looking at that Real Madrid team, the last thing they need is you. Trent will go, no, the exact thing they need is me. Because you always believe if there's one man that can make a change, you look at your teammates and you go, yeah, John Barnes will make it, or Sir Kenny will make a difference. But the one thing I can guarantee is I'll make a change. It doesn't always work out like that, does it? But you go, I'll make a change. I'll show them. That's the attitude that everybody goes into every situation with. And it doesn't matter how big the challenge is. And this is a big challenge for Trent. But it also, in a way, feel that Trent has been amongst the best right backs in the world for a while. So he's qualified to play for Real Madrid in terms of his talent or whatever. So I think Trent will go, oh, really? You don't think they need me? Let me show you.
Yeah, exactly. We spoke about this exact topic last time on the show about how there's a difference between arrogance and self-confidence. And clearly Trent Alexander-Arnold has that last one in abundance. And maybe he has a bit of that former one as well. And we shall see how that works out.